What's going on, No Carbs Nation? How are we doing today? I am so excited for this series of videos. And the series is going to be about reviewing my new Jacked Up Fitness Extreme. Now, I say new, I've had it for a couple months. And there's so much to cover that it is going to be over several videos. So it's not wardrobe changes, it's just going to be taking place over several days because I don't have that kind of time to punch it all into one. So we're going to do multiple days, do multiple segments, but we're going to cover it all. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So, hey, let's go. Looking forward to this. All right, so before we get started into the review, we're going to start with the shipping and that packaging. But before we get started, let's take a quick look and see what all is included with my Jacked Up Fitness Extreme rack. All right, let's start here with the rack itself, and that is a band to assist with pull-ups. It's kind of covering the Jacked Up Fitness logo, but not on purpose. There's a TRX strap hook as well. There's a phone holder up there, but I'm not really quite sure the purpose of that, but that might come in handy. So, some of the highlights of this machine, again, pull-up bar, but the Smith machine. It's a nice addition here for the 330 barbell, my home gym, basement gym. And part of getting this unit is part of my remodeling efforts, right? Refurbishing the gym. Sold 3 other pieces of equipment to be replaced by this one. So biggest highlight for me, other than the Smith machine, are the cables, right? These cables are very awesome. It's you can do 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 ratio. It moves very easily, as you can see, right? Up and down, real smooth. Come back up. So it's very, very, very good. Really liking these. Great addition. Got the holes are numbered, which is a big plus. We have the spotter arms back there. We have the J hooks back there, and they're currently stored on the back of the unit, but they can see they're quality, which is a good thing. And we're going to step over here and I'm just going to show you how it slides in. So see if they can get my camera positioned right. Like this, and there we go. There's a J hook. And the same thing for the spider arms. I won't hook it up, but you get the idea. Again, they're stored back here. Also have your dip handles stored back here. Tell you what, they certainly hold me with no problem. Very sturdy. Here's the leg press plate. It actually goes in 3 different positions. We'll get to that later on in the segments with the attachments. You got 200-pound stacks on each side. And again, I'll review those as part of my pros and cons, goods and bads as well. Also, these bars came with it. So we've got a lat pull down bar. We've got a straight bar, it hooks to both. We've got the easy bar, hooks to both cables there. We've got the ankle strap, the V handle, short handle, got the rope. You've got your foot plate there for the seated cable rows. Also, over here, you got the jammer arms. They're currently not attached. I just used them last night, though. Again, when we get to the good and the bad and the uglies, I will attach those back to the rack and review those. In addition to that, I got my lat pull-down seat that I ordered separately, and we'll also be reviewing that. So, man, a lot to take in. But again, this piece of equipment was purchased with the intent of replacing 3 different pieces of equipment. So those 3 pieces of equipment that I was set out to replace was a Fitness Reality 810 XLT squat rack with cable attachment, a Power Tech leverage workstation, and an old school lat machine for pull downs and seated rows and things like that. So 1 unit to replace 3 big units, which also gave me a lot more space in my home gym, which maybe I'll talk a little bit more about later as well. But man, a lot to take in. So without further ado, let's continue. All right, more with the review. So starting with the actual ordering of it. So a big plus, a big, the good, if you will, was the sales staff. It started off shaky, but quickly adjusted itself. Had a really great salesman. And on top of that, the customer service folks at Jacked Up Fitness, as well as the technical help. So I have had to make multiple calls. I actually had to make another one into that. But customer support staff, sales staff, those folks at Jacked Up have been great. They've answered my questions. They've taken my calls. They've done a virtual walkthrough and virtual help for putting this thing together. So to those folks, hey, great job. You're doing well. So next, let's talk about the shipping. So actually, the rack and the attachments came in one big order. The seat came separate several weeks later. It was on back order. The FedEx shipment was fantastic. I believe the crates together weighed about 1,100 pounds, I believe, and they brought it right into my garage for me. So that was a big plus. So big shout out to them and many thanks. And also, why we got the Extreme. They are actually running an incredible deal. I believe it was 20% off, if I remember correctly. And I wanted to get being the cheap myself, the cheap person I am, I went with the cheapest model originally, and it was so back ordered due to the sale. It wasn't a possibility. The more I thought about it, the Extreme really fit what I was looking for. It came with the jammer arms, which is something I've always wanted. It came with the leg press plate, which is something I always wanted. Had the 1-to-1 cable ratio if needed. The attachments were upgraded. These are pretty solid attachments, so that part was great. So the ordering of the unit was great, sales were great, customer service was great, shipping was great, and I want to throw a picture here real quick of the crates that it came in, so you can take a look at just how big this shipment is. So I mentioned the attachments. Let's take a little closer look at a couple of them here. So you will see this is just the easy hooks to both sides of the cable. You can do the curls, the press downs, whatever extensions. But if you can see, this is a thick bar. It's which is something better than the cheaper models. So kudos again for that. These attachments that come with it are top of the line. So good there. So shipment came, unboxed, hauled everything down. So those have all been pretty good so far. Now we're going to get to some not so good. Let's start with the instructions. So Jacked Up Fitness does offer for a price, a professional, installation. After building this thing myself, let me say I highly recommend the professional installation. Be well worth the money, because quite frankly, just again, full honest review, the instructions to put this thing together suck. They are awful. I don't know if I've ever seen worse instructions. And the YouTube videos to help walk you through it aren't any better either. I think if Jacked Up really wanted to improve, they could add some words, some speaking, some actual language to both sets of instructions, because again, I would give the instructions an F, if I'm being honest.